Hello again, students of the 10th Forum, and today we are going to review Chapter 4D Literature of our wonderful Spotlight 10 study book. Здравствуйте, уважаемые десятиклассники! Сегодня мы разберем с вами главу 4D Литература нашего замечательного учебника Spotlight 10. And exercise 1. Look at the title of the text and the picture on page 70. What do you think the extract is about? Read the biography and check. Нас просят посмотреть на заголовок текста The Lost World, Затерянный мир, и на вот эту симпатичную картинку, где у нас какие-то ящеры поедают растения, и сказать, о чем, по нашему мнению, будет отрывок текста, а затем почитать биографию и проверить, были ли мы правы. And looking at the title and the picture, we can say, I think the extract is about a place where prehistoric animals still exist. То есть, скорее всего, речь у нас пойдет о каком-то месте, где существуют подобные доисторические наверняка животные. Now let us read the biography and check whether we were right or not. Let us listen to it and read it. Let's begin.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, 1859 to 1930, was a Scottish doctor and author. His mother was passionate about books and a fantastic storyteller. Arthur discovered he had a talent for telling fascinating stories. His works include science fiction and historical novels, plays and romances, poetry, and non-fiction. The Lost World, 1912, was the first in a series of 4 novels. It is about an expedition to the Amazon rainforest in South America, where Professors Challenger and Summerlee, reporter Edward Malone and hunter Lord John Roxton encounter prehistoric animals.
So it seems we were right. Now exercise 2. Read lines from 1 to 19 of the extract. What do you think the professor has seen? What do you think will happen next? Listen and read to find out. Прочитайте строки с 1 по 19 отрывка. Как вы думаете, что же увидел профессор? И что, по-вашему, случится дальше? Послушайте и почитайте, чтобы это выяснить. Let us look at the lines. But what do you make of these? Cried Professor Summerlee, triumphantly pointing to what looked like the huge print of a 5-fingered human hand appearing among the 3-toed marks. Wilden, cried Professor Challenger in ecstasy. I've seen them in Wilden in England. It's a creature walking upright upon 3-toed feet, and occasionally putting one of its 5-fingered forepaws down on the ground. Not a bird, my dear Roxton, not a bird. A beast? Nothing else could have left such a track. His words died away into a whisper, and we all stood in motionless amazement. Following the tracks, we left the swamp and passed through some bushes and trees. Beyond was an open clearing, where there were 5 of the most extraordinary creatures that I have ever seen. There were, as I say, 5 of them, 2 adults and 3 young ones. Ну, здесь мы, пожалуй, остановимся. Итак, интрига в чем? Они нашли какие-то необычные следы. Один из профессоров сказал, что уже встречал их в Англии, в местечке под названием Уилден. И описал существо, которое могло эти следы оставить. И это точно была не птица. И в конце они выбрались по следам с болота и увидели 5 таких существ, 2 взрослых и 3 молодых. And we can suppose that the professor has seen some dinosaurs. And what do you think will happen next? I think the people will hide in the bushes and watch them. Люди, которые их обнаружили, наверняка спрячутся в кустах и будут за ними наблюдать. Now let us read and listen to the text to see what's happened next. Let's begin.
But what do you make of this?
Cried Professor Summerlee, triumphantly pointing to what looked like the huge print of a 5-fingered human hand appearing among the 3-toed marks.
Wilden!
Cried Professor Challenger in ecstasy.
I've seen them in Wilden in England. It is a creature walking upright upon 3-toed feet, and occasionally putting one of its 5-fingered forepaws down on the ground. Not a bird, my dear Roxton, not a bird.
A beast?
No, a reptile, a dinosaur. Nothing else could have left such a track.
His words died away into a whisper, and we all stood in motionless amazement. Following the tracks, we left the swamp and passed through some bushes and trees. Beyond was an open clearing. where there were 5 of the most extraordinary creatures that I have ever seen. Crouching down among the bushes, we observed them at our leisure. There were, as I say, 5 of them, 2 adults and 3 young ones. They were enormous. Even the babies were as big as elephants, while the 2 adults were bigger than any creatures I have ever seen. They had slate-colored skin, which had scales like a lizard's, and glittered when the sun shone upon it. All 5 were sitting up, balancing themselves upon their broad, powerful tails and their huge 3-toed back feet, while they pulled down branches with their small 5-fingered front feet. I do not know if I can describe them to you better other than by saying that they looked like monstrous kangaroos, 20 feet in length, and with skin like crocodiles. I do not know how long we stayed gazing at this marvelous sight. A strong wind blew towards us, but we were well concealed, so there was no chance of discovery. From time to time, the little ones played round their parents in clumsy games, the great beasts hopping into the air and falling with dull thuds upon the earth. The strength of the parents seemed to be limitless, for one of them, having some difficulty in reaching a bunch of leaves which grew upon a large tree, put its forelegs round the trunk and tore it down as if it were a sapling. This showed not only the strength of its muscles, but also the weakness of its brain, for the whole tree came crashing down on top of it. It yelped loudly, showing that despite its size, there was a limit to what it could endure. The incident caused it to move off, followed by its partner and their 3 enormous infants. We saw the shimmering grey gleam of their skin between the tree trunks, and their heads moving up and down high above the treetops. Then they vanished from our sight. I looked at my comrades. Lord John was staring intently in the direction the creatures had disappeared. The 2 professors were in silent ecstasy. In their excitement, they had grabbed each other by the hand and stood like 2 little children in the presence of a wonderful sight. Challenger's cheeks displayed a broad smile, and Summerlee's ironic face softened in amazement.
My God!
He cried at last.
What will they say in England about this?
My dear Summerlee, I will tell you with great confidence exactly what they will say.
Said Challenger.
They will say that you are a liar and a scientific fake, exactly as you and others said of me.
And if we have photographs?
Faked, Summerlee, faked, they'll say.
And if we have specimens?
Ah, there we may have them. The newspapers may praise us yet. August the 28th, the day we saw 5 live iguanodons in a clearing of the Amazon rainforest. Put it down in your diary, my young friend, and send it to your paper.
Well, that was an extraordinary story, I think. Очень интересная, увлекательная история, великолепная. But let us get back to our exercises. And section B, match the sentences from A to G to the gaps from 1 to 6. There is one extra sentence you do not need to use. Compare with a partner. И уже привычное задание, в котором нас просят ставить отсутствующие предложения в пропуске, которые у нас есть в тексте. Одно из предложений лишнее. Затем вас просят сравнить с тем, что получилось у вашего товарища. And now we know that E goes for the first gap. No, a reptile, a dinosaur. Nothing else could have left such a track. То есть не рептилия, а динозавр. Ничто иное не могло оставить такой след. C goes for the second gap. Crouching down among the bushes, we observed them at our leisure. Крадясь по кустам, мы их наблюдали в свое удовольствие. Имеется в виду динозавров, которых они обнаружили. F goes for the third gap. They were enormous. Они были просто гигантских размеров. A goes for the fourth gap. Then they vanished from our sight. А затем они исчезли из виду. G goes for the fifth gap. What will they say in England about this? Что же в Англии скажут по этому поводу? По поводу обнаружения динозавров. And B goes for the sixth gap. August 28th, the day we saw 5 live iguanodons in a clearing of the Amazon rainforest. То есть август 28, день обнаружения 5 живых игуанодонов на поляне в тропическом лесу Амазонки. And we see that sentence D is extra. Он нас лишний. Now exercise 3. Match the highlighted words to their meanings. Use each one in a sentence of your own. И нас просят соединить подсвеченные слова с их значениями, что у нас ниже, а затем использовать каждое в собственном предложении. And we know that put up with is to endure, то есть иметь выносливость, что-то терпеть. Как здесь упало на динозавра дерево, и все-таки ученые поняли, что есть предел тому, что динозавр может вытерпеть. Имеется в виду его болевой порог. Not moving, motionless, то есть абсолютно без движения. Cried out, yelped, то есть вскрикнуть. Hidden, concealed, то есть скрытый, спрятанный. Sparkled, glittered, то есть искрящийся, играющий огнями. Huge, monstrous. Здесь речь о том, что они были похожи на огромных кенгуру, эти динозавры. Shine, gleam, светиться. Extreme happiness, ecstasy, экстатическое состояние, состояние нереального счастья. And because goes for. Здесь оно в значении потому что. And the sentences may be like: I couldn't endure the suspense any longer. The dog was motionless as it slept. The dog yelped when he trod on its tail. The door was concealed in the wall. The disco ball glittered under the lights. The house was monstrous and had 20 bedrooms. Stars gleam at night. Eating chocolate cake is ecstasy for John. He left a message, for there was no one at home. Now section B. Use a dictionary to explain the words in bold. What are they in your language? Вас просят воспользоваться словарем для того, чтобы объяснить слова, выделенные жирным шрифтом, и сказать, какие они в нашем языке. And triumphantly, with a sense of victory, то есть триумфально. Upright, vertical, вертикальный. Track, a narrow path through a field of forest. То есть здесь это переводится как тропинка, или же след, который оставил динозавр в лесу, так как он большой, он прошел сквозь лес и осталась такая, знаете, просека с поваленными деревьями. Swamp, an area of very wet land, то есть болото. Clearing, an area in the forest where there is no tall vegetation. Или поляна на нашем языке. Slate colored, a dark grayish color, то есть темно-серый цвет. Scales, small flat pieces of hard skin that cover certain animals' bodies, то есть чешуйки. Broad, wide, широкий. Sight, something you see. Или какой-то вид, да, когда мы его видим, он у нас может быть marvelous, то есть замечательный. Clumsy, awkward or careless, неуклюжий. Hopping, jumping up and down on one foot, то есть прыгать на одной ноге. Thuds, dull sounds, то есть какие-то глухие звуки. Динозавры у нас здесь подпрыгивали на одной ноге и падали на землю. Видимо, такая у них была игра. Bunch, a group of. Это может быть flowers, grapes, да, какой-то либо букет, либо гроздь. Здесь листья. Shimmering, to shine with a faint light. То есть сиять каким-то тусклым светом. Здесь даже серым немножко. Trunks, main stems of trees, то есть стволы. And comrades, friends, друзья, товарищи. Exercise 4. Find words that mean big in the extract. Make sentences using them. Найдите слова, которые выражают значение большой в отрывке, и составьте с ними предложение. And the words are huge, enormous, monstrous, great, large. And the sentences: She had a small face with huge brown eyes. The swimming pool in the hotel is enormous. They've put a monstrous statue in the town square. A great many people came to see it. Tom has rather large feet. Exercise 5. Find all words related to animals and list them under the headings. Нам предлагают найти все слова, имеющие отношение к животным, и выписать их под заголовками. And what are the headings? Classes, то есть классы животных. Parts of body, части тела. Types, типы. And the classes are reptile, human, dinosaurs. Parts of body. Three-toed feet, five-fingered forepaws, tails, feet, skins, muscles, brain, head, hand, cheeks, face. And types, birds, elephants, lizards, kangaroos, crocodiles, iguanas. И можете сравнить с тем, что получилось у ваших товарищей. Exercise 6. Who what is compared to? Little children, elephants, a human hand, a lizard, great beasts, crocodiles, kangaroos. Кто или что сравнивается с маленькими детьми, слонами, человеческой рукой, ящерицей, какими-то большими огромными зверями, крокодилами и кенгуру. And little children. The two professors. Помните, когда они в экстазе, тут как маленькие дети, наблюдали за динозаврами? Elephants. The baby dinosaurs. То есть маленькие динозавры были размером со слонов. A human hand. Footprint of the dinosaur. То есть отпечаток ноги динозавра был похож на человеческую руку. Точнее, на отпечаток человеческой руки. A lizard, great beasts, crocodiles and kangaroos are all compared to dinosaurs. Iguanodons, to be more precise. То есть эти динозавры у нас называются игуанодоны. Section B. Which adjectives best describe the baby dinosaurs, the adult dinosaurs, the two professors and the narrator? Какие из прилагательных лучше всего описывают динозавров-детенышей, взрослых динозавров, двух профессоров и рассказчика? And there are adjectives. Excited, unintelligent, playful, huge, unusual, amazed, strong, overjoyed. Но мы понимаем, что excited, amazed and overjoyed go for the two professors and the narrator. Unintelligent, huge and strong go for the adult dinosaurs. And playful and unusual are for the baby dinosaurs. Which part of the text helped you decide? All the extract, you can say. То есть весь отрывок нам помог определиться. Exercise 7. Explain the underlined phrases in your own words. Объясните подчеркнутые фразы собственными словами. So there was no chance of discovery. And it would be very difficult to be discovered. То есть все так было хорошо спрятано, ну, здесь речь идет о людях, которые спрятались в кустах, что обнаружить их совершенно было невозможно. Cheeks displayed a broad smile, had a very big smile on his face. То есть профессор Челленджер так широко улыбался, что улыбка даже заползла на его щеки. Ironic face softened in amazement. At first, Summerlee was being ironic, but now that he saw the creatures, his face showed amazement. То есть его ироничное выражение лица смягчилось, да, разгладилось в удивлении, ну или от удивления. And there we may have them, we may prove them wrong. То есть мы можем доказать им, что они неправы. Не то чтобы мы завладеем образцами, да, очень легко попасться, а здесь это конец рассуждения о том, что им все равно не поверят и назовут лжецами, если они предоставят устные свидетельства, если они предоставят фотографии, их тоже объявят поддельными. А вот если они привезут желательно еще живых динозавров, тут они, собственно, и победят. Убедят в том, что это не ложь. И у нас нашлись 3 потерянных слова, выделенных жирным шрифтом. Fake. A fake is somebody or something that is not what they pretend to be. An imitation. Есть у нас это слово уже в языке. Fake, то есть что-то ненастоящее, имитация чего-то. Specimens. Examples of something or small quantities of something to be used for study. То есть образцы для изучения. Praise. To express approval. Выражать одобрение. And writing section. A task for your portfolio. Imagine you are part of the expedition. Write a letter to a friend describing what you have seen. Представьте, что вы тоже состоите в этой экспедиции, и напишите письмо своему другу, описывающее то, что вам удалось увидеть. And let me give you an example of such a letter. Let us listen to it and read it. Let's begin.
Dear Anne, I hope you are well. The expedition is amazing. You won't believe what I saw today. We were walking through the jungle this morning when Professor Summerlee pointed to a large mark on the ground. It was a giant footprint. Then we heard loud noises coming from the bushes and went to investigate. I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a group of huge reptile-type animals, 2 adults and 3 young. They were enormous and looked like something I have never seen in my life. They were as tall as trees and seemed to have the strength of several elephants. We watched them for a few minutes and then they left. I know you will find it difficult to believe, but I think they are prehistoric. I'll tell you more when I get back. Yours, Paul.
Well, I hope you liked the letter. And that is all for today. Thank you. It was a pleasure again. Hope to see you soon and bye-bye.